So yesterday I did a reformer mat with them where it's all the reformer exercises just done on the mat. So I thought if anybody was going to be able to handle that, it's going to be you guys. So we may try to mix it up a little bit and do a little reformer mat. So just keep in mind that, again, nothing in Pilates should ever hurt or cause pain. So if there's just the regular mat version of the exercise that you're wanting to do at that point, you're welcome to do so. But instead of following the mat order, we're going to follow the intermediate reformer order. And because you have no support from the foot bar or the springs or the straps, it makes it harder. So that's why it elevates it a little bit more to that harder advanced level. But I'll try to give you some variations and stuff that I think if you just need some options, we'll kind of keep that in mind as well. So if you're game, we're going to look at that today. Y'all ready? So we are starting this reformer mat down on our back as if you were laying flat on the mat on the carriage for footwork. However, bring your knees into your chest, give them a little hug. Go heels together, toes a little bit apart. You just don't have a foot bar there. So arms can reach down by your side. Press out like you're pushing the foot bar away, squeezing your tush, squeeze your inner thighs, and then bend your knees and pull them back in towards your shoulders. Inhale as you stretch out long, and then exhale as you come in. As you do this, you want to make sure your spine is lengthening and the stomach is what's bringing and drawing those legs in. Inhale, your inner thighs are squeezing tight. Exhale and bring the knees back in. You're stretching your legs. Only go as low with your legs as you can support your low back on the mat. Stretching it out. And exhale, come back in. So obviously the foot bar would be lower with our feet on the foot bar, but we just don't have the support of the bar and the springs. So you got to lengthen the legs out, or you can support the back on the mat. Well, one more time here. And in. Now bring your knees and toes together. I'm pointing the toes forward, like curling them, and then reaching the heels forward too. Now stretch the legs out again, bend the knees and come back in. Stretch it out like you're pushing the foot bar away with the arches of your feet, pulling up the stomach, deepening the stomach, lengthening the spine, scooping it in. Feel the connection there, and then soften the hip joints here. Stretch it out as you reach, and scoop and pull it back in. 3 more. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, in and 2. Really try to keep those inner thighs pulling together. 1 more time. Press it out and in and stay here. Now flex your feet so you can stretch the underside of the foot, and then press out, push through the heel, and bend the knees and come in. Now as you're doing this, I will say that typically your head is up on a headrest here. So if you need to curl up a little bit, and maybe that helps you engage your abdominals a little more, maybe that feels better to you, you can do that, or you can keep your head down. And come back in. 3 more. Push through the heels to activate those hamstrings, the back line of the body squeezing, and scoop and pulling it with the stomach. 2 more. Reach it out and pull back in. And 1 more. Reach it out and back in. Give yourself a little hug. Honestly, I think this part is the hardest one without the foot bar. Go heels together, toes a little bit apart. Press the legs out. Stay here. Now point your toes. Stretch those toes forward. Flex the heels forward. Point the toes and flex the heels. You can lift the legs a little higher if you need to scoop the stomach down a little more. Point and flex. Hug the inner thighs as you point. Hug the inner thighs as you flex. If you need to curl up and help your stomach engage, that's fine here too. 2 more. Point and flex. 1 more time. Point and flex. Bend the knees. Come back in for a moment. So here's where we would set up for your 100, but we just don't have the straps. If you have arm weights, you're welcome to use them here. I didn't cue that, but if you want them, you can. So reach through your fists as if you were holding the straps. Push the straps forward, the arms forward. Now pump the arms. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you could reach through your fingertips too. Exhale. Making sure your heels are in line with the navel. Making sure your tail is in line with your navel. Making sure your nose is in line with your navel, that center line, midline. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Oh, my inner thighs are dying. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. From all that footwork first. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2 more breaths. Breathing in, wide across the shoulders. Exhale, shoulders down your back. 1 more breath. 3, 4, 5, and exhale. And rest. Bend the knees in, lower your head down. So here we go into short spine. However, we're going to give ourselves a few options here before we do that. So stretch your legs out, reach your arms behind you. We're going to roll up first. Reach the arms up and forward and round over because we're still trying to articulate the spine with short spine. Roll back. Let's do 1 more of these. Roll up just to give you this option for articulating the spine. Now let's look at roll over if you choose to. Arms go down, your legs can go over, legs about parallel to the floor-ish. Open and flex your heels. Roll upper back, middle back, lower back, your hips touch. And you can close the legs. We're going to reverse that. Open and go over and close, flex, and roll it down. Now, if you choose, you can keep doing roll up or roll over. Or we're going to look at short spine here. Pretend you have the straps. Reach your legs out as if you had the straps. Now take your legs over. You have to really push through those arms. Yes, my legs are further behind me than normal. So go ahead and lift your feet up a little higher here. But bend your knees. Keep your heels up on the ceiling. And now leave your feet here as you roll down your upper back, middle back, lower back. Stretch those legs. Bottom down. Bend the knees. Again, press out. Lift the legs up. Lift the hips up and stretch your spine over. Bend, and actually lift your toes a little bit higher now. Now bend the knees, try to keep your toes on the ceiling, and then roll down and lengthen your hips away from your heels, and bottom pulls the heels down. Last time. Out we go, up and over. So hard to do. Reaching up through the legs, bending the knees. Lengthen your neck as you roll your chest, as you roll your hips, as you roll down, bend the knees. Okay, so that's enough of that. Then we go into your coordination as if we're taking our straps in our hands again. Knees into your chest. Notice my knees are past my hands. Lift your chest up to your knees. Straighten the arms and legs at the same time. Your hands go down to the mat. Legs open hip width. They close in the middle. Bend the knees towards your shoulders. Bend your elbows. Don't let your head go down. Touch the mat. Legs go out. Open and close. Bend the knees in, bend the elbows with your breath. Inhale, open, close. Exhale, knees in, exhale, bend the elbows. 2 more, inhale, reach. Open, close. Exhale, knees come in. Exhale, bend the elbows. Last time, reach, touch the mat. Open, now stay there, little beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze your heels, scoop your knees, bend the elbows, and rest. Okay, roll up to sitting. So because normally we go into rowing and we turn around, we don't have to turn around because we have no springs and straps here to worry about. So we're still facing the same way. You're keeping your legs together, heels together, toes apart. And then give me those fists right up here at your chest. Start with your spine lifting up really tall, but then roll your pelvis forward so that you rock backwards. Hold it there. Now don't move your head to your legs, but just open your arms out to the side. And then take your head towards your legs, bringing your hands back towards your hips. Lift your arms up to the ceiling, opening the chest up. Reach your arms out to the side, about shoulder width, and then rotate your shoulders on your back so your palms look at the floor. And then reach your arms towards your toes, stretching your back, stretching the back of the legs. And then roll up taller than where you started. Head on top of your hips, hands on your heart. We're doing that again, so squeeze your inner thighs, reach your tail through your toes as you pull the stomach back. Pause with your head still, open the arms out to the side. Now push your arms back behind you as you take your heart towards your legs, hands to your hips. Lift your arms up, feel that stretch the collarbone towards the ceiling. Reach your arms out, stretching the collarbone out. Then rotate the shoulder blades on your back, reach your arms to your toes and stretch the back even more. Roll up. This is your rowing 1, your round back, or from your sternum. Roll back again. Hold it there. Open the arms out to the side, and then dive your head towards your knees, your shins, your ankles, your toes. Lift your arms up to the sky. Reach out to the side. Rotate the shoulders on your back. Reach forward. The low back lengthens even more, and then you roll up to sitting nice and tall. Then we go into your flat back. I want your elbows about shoulder height, like you're holding a box, creating a right angle from your wrist, your elbow to your shoulder, and a right angle from your elbow, your shoulder to your hips, and a right angle from your shoulder, your hips to your feet. Whole bunch of boxes here. Hug your legs, now hinge back, flat back going back, and then reach up, touch the ceiling, bring your hands over your head over your hips. Now reach your hips back behind you. You're going into a diagonal line forward, and then you can just reach your arms down, push the hands back behind your hips, and then lift the arms up as you take your chest forward a little more. Same ending here, arms go out to the side, you rotate the shoulders, reach to your feet. And then roll it up again. Elbows at 90 degrees, you're in that flat back, and hinge back, and then go ahead and reach up, touch the sky, and then reach forward, pulling your hips behind you, and then you can go over your legs, pressing your hands behind you. Lift your arms as you stretch your back even more. Reach out to the side, and as your arms pull your chest forward, you pull your hips backwards a little more, stretching the legs a little more. Roll it out, 90 degrees, one more time. Hinge back, and then reach up, lift your back up with your arms, lean your back forward, and then take your arms to the mat, down behind you on your hips. Your arms go up, your collarbone stretches, reach out to the side, rotate the shoulders, reach forward past the toes, and then roll all the way up. And normally here we would turn around, but you don't have to. So you're still keeping the legs together. Now you're pulling your elbows behind you, hands close to your rib cage, your chest is lifted up. This is your sitting tall. Or from your chest, reach your arms up and forward, lifting your back. As your arms go down, lift your spine up taller. As the arms go back up by your ears, pause right there, see if you can grow some more. Now open the arms out. Think about a wine bottle opener here. As the arms go down, the cork pops up. Bend the elbows behind you again, hands by your chest. Reach your arms up and forward, pull the stomach in and up. Press the arms down, the stomach goes up even higher, chest up higher. As the arms lift, it's to lift the low back more, and then open the arms, connect the shoulder blades to your ribs again behind you as you grow tall in your chest. Bend the elbows one more time. Inhale as you reach up, and exhale as you press down. Inhale as you lift up, open the arms, press them down as you lift your chest up higher, and rest. Now flex your feet, and then come into parallel, so your knees and toes are facing the ceiling, but your legs are still squeezing together. Hands are by your hips on the mat. We're gonna bend over, bend down, like you're taking your head to your knees, and then slide your hands across the mat towards your heels. Feel that stretch in your back. We're gonna do this two ways. First way, I want you to stack your spine up, like spine stretch forward, pull the stomach back and roll up, the low back over the hips, the chest over the hips, the shoulders over the hips, the head over the hips. And then reach your arms up and grow taller. Same ending as a moment ago. Open the arms out to the side and then press them down. Now this is the different one. Hands on the mat, we're gonna round over again, taking your head to your hips, now rounding the spine. Reach your arms forward and round your spine even more and increase that stretch. But now take your arms out across the mat to the end of the mat. Lift your arms and your head up the wall in front of you until all of a sudden you're in a diagonal line, straight line from your hands to your hips, and then you're gonna lift your hands on top of your hips, taking your head with you, open the arms out to the side. So your choice, do what feels best to you. Round over, reach forward, we're all stretching the spine here. Now you can either stack up over the hips, or you can stretch out in a diagonal line, and then bring yourself on top of your hips. Either way is fine. I do it both ways on the reformer, so we can do it both ways here. And rest. Nice. Cross your legs in front like a genie. And then we're taking your hands up And I'm bringing my fists together and my fists are facing forward. I'm gonna look into my stomach so I can really see the scoop. Some people like keeping their head up, either way is fine. If your head is up, as you bend your elbows, your hands are coming to the front of your forehead like a salute, and lift back up. Or if you're looking down, bend your elbows, your hands are going behind your head like you're shaving your head, and back up. Either way, you want your stomach to pull into your low back, and then your hands to help lift your low back up even more. Like there's a string, bend your elbows to the stomach, to the low back, and then your hands lift that string up even higher, 2 more. Inhale as you bend, exhale as you scoop and lift it up. One more time, inhale, bend, shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, scoop and lift the low back up more. Lift your head if you can, and then open your legs. Switch the other leg on top, and then pull your arms out to the side. I want you to imagine that your arms are on a pool of water, that the elbows are lifted, they're not dropping down. You can't really see that there. Don't let them drop down. Pick those elbows up, and then hug a tree. Wrap your arms around a great big oak tree, and then open the arms. Find those shoulder blades. Let the shoulder blades move around the side of your rib cage to close the hands. Pull the shoulder blades together on the back of the rib cage to open the chest. Hug a tree, and then open. We're gonna add our breath here. Exhale as you hug the tree. Inhale as you open the lungs, the breath. Exhale, the stomach scoops in and up. Inhale, your lungs float up even higher. One more time, exhale and inhale, and then lower the arms down and rest. All right, turn over on your tummy. Lay on your stomach. Sorry. Reach your arms down by your side. Forehead can rest or hover over the mat. Take your fists, and then think about squeeze your hands together. Let your thumbs kind of face the mat. Let your pinkies face the ceiling. And I want you to lift your hands a little away from the mat, feeling that connection of the arm into the upper back. And then lift your neck, your chest, your heart, in order to take your eyes across the mat, across the floor, maybe where the ceiling, where the floor meets the wall, and then lower back down. Not the ceiling meets the wall, the floor meets the wall. Reach the arms down your back. You're lifting your chest up. So this is like your swan, except it's like your pull straps on the reformer. And then lower back down. Do it one more time. You're reaching your arms back down your back, but you're stretching your chest, the front line, forward. You're still reaching through the legs. You're still using the tush to lift your chest. And then lower back down. Now take your arms out to the side. They should be in line with your shoulders, like a T from your head to your foot and hand to hand. Now lift your elbows a little so they're not hyperextending. They're not dropping down on the mat. And then lift your upper arms up so much that your hands hover off the mat. So your arms don't get to touch the mat here. Reach your arms back by lifting your chest forward, pulling the shoulder blades down your back. And then reach your arms out wider, the shoulder blades out wider, and you can lower the chest back down. Reach the shoulder blades back, lifting your chest forward, 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 and reach it out to the side. This is like your T-straps. One more time. Pull the shoulders down your back, take your chest forward, 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 and reach the arms to the side, and then rest. Turn over on your back. Okay, so now we have backstroke. Bring your knees into your chest, give the legs a little hug. Your low back is anchored, and imagine you're on that long box. And then we're gonna lift your head and chest up. Your hips are to the front of the box. You're holding the straps with your hands. Reach your arms and legs straight up to the ceiling as if that carriage is not gonna move. Open about hip width apart, mat width apart, don't move that carriage. Now push your arms forward over your legs. Let that lever your upper back up, and then scoop the stomach and come back in. Again, the arms and legs go up. They open hip width apart, mat width apart maybe. Reach forward over your thighs. Your legs are pulling forward. It's lifting your upper back up, and scoop and bend everything back in. Reach up, anchor the navel down. Open, reach forward. Palms are facing the legs here, but now just for fun, turn your palms to look towards the ceiling. And then reach your palms to the legs again, bend your arms and legs back down. Rest for a moment. Okay, place your feet down. That's enough of backstroke, because now we gotta get to teaser, which is somewhat hard here as well. Stretch your legs out in front, turn your palms to face the ceiling. Now in this position, your head, your hips, and your hips, and your feet are all in one straight line right on the mat. So get long your feet away from your head. Now sink the navel down to lift your head and feet up, and let that just start to roll you up, reaching your arms above your toes. Arms and legs parallel with each other. Now reach your legs forward, reach your hands forward, let that roll you back down. Ideally head and heels touch at the same time. And you do that again. Scoop the stomach, reach forward to come up. And then reach the legs forward, pull the stomach back to roll back down. One more time here, scoop to come up. And yes, there are fancy arms we could do. We're not gonna do today. And reach the legs forward, maybe on another day. And all the way down and rest. And sit up tall. So after teaser, we normally step off. We normally turn our box to the short box. So let's do some short box here. I'm opening my feet parallel hip width apart. I'm gonna wrap my arms around my waist so I can kind of creep my fingertips back there. And think about your elbows pulling back towards your back too. You're still rounding your spine. You're still going to be in that C curve of your spine. And then roll back. Think about your heels pushing forward, your stomach pulling back. Only go as far as you can support it. And exhale and come back up. Roll back. Now perhaps you could go all the way down, your low back, middle back, upper back, shoulder, neck, and head. But you got to come back up. And that's the hard part there. So I'm going to keep my arms on my stomach. I'm not going all the way down today. If I had a strap down there, I probably could. Maybe even if I had a magic circle, I might be able to. And then roll it back up and sit up tall. Take your hands behind your head, one hand on top of the other. Now we're in your flat back. Lift up your waist and hinge back. No arching, no sinking, and hinge back up. Again, go up to go back. And then go up to come forward. And again, this might be smaller than it normally is on the short box, but that's because your legs are lower than your pelvis on the short box. Hold it there. Reach your arms up and link your thumbs. Growing tall. I'm going to lean forward just a little bit and go up and over. That's really to help detach my hip flexors too. And then come back up, which seems odd. If you lean forward, you would think that they're gripping more. But sometimes if you lean into it, they actually release. And come back to center, up and over. This is your side bend, crescenting up and over to the right. And come back to center, up and over to the left. Think about that left rib still lifting, stretching the right side. And back to center, last time. Up and over, lengthening the left rib away from the left hip, anchoring down on the mat. And back to center. Up and over. I have to really keep lifting this left rib. It really wants to fall down. And come back to center. Hands behind your head for twist. Go up. Now rotate your ribs to the right. If you want, you can hinge back, that flat back hinge. Now twist to come up all the way, head on your hips. Back to center. Twist to the left. Hinge back if you choose, but keep that flat back. And then come back up, head on top of your hips, twisting more. And back to center, up and twist, hinging back, reach through those heels, pull back up, anchor the heels, and center, and twist, push your heels away as you pull the stomach, then reach your hips back to bring your head up, and center, make sure you're not rounding to go back, that you stay flat back, and come back up, and center, last time, twist, stay flat, keep lifting your chest, and come back up, and center, and rest. Tree. So I'm going to go ahead and bend my knees at the moment. My feet are pretty far away from my seat. Picking up your right leg, I'm going to keep my chest lifted, my knees into my chest. Stretch up your right leg and bend the knee, and stretch it up, and bend the knee. Stretch it up and stay here. Flex and point, flex and point, flex and point. Walk your hands up to your calf, ankle, wherever that is for you. Very nice. Now bend your elbows and take your chest towards your leg. Now typically here, actually let's go ahead and do it. You can rock back, lifting your leg to the ceiling. Pause right there. Now go ahead and rock forward again. And again, rock back, pull the stomach back to lift your leg towards the ceiling, and then roll it back up. I'll tell you why here in a second. Roll back because typically here is where we go on the reformer to walk our hands down, but I'm gonna roll up here. I want my leg to stay here in front of me. Leave your leg here, but stretch out your left leg and really flex that foot. Now pull the stomach back and start to walk your hands down your right leg. Don't move your right leg. And then walk back up. Because you don't have the strap, your supporting leg is on the mat rather than below the box in the black strap. You don't have the black strap. So having the leg in front of you just a little lower gives you a little more leverage to pull back. Because on this third one, I'm going to roll all the way down, letting my low back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, neck, and head touch down. But now my head's going to come up. I'm now going to use my leg to climb back up and stretch the back. And then lift your chest up through the arms. Go ahead and let the arms stretch. And then bend your knee and switch your legs. So we're starting with your knees bent. Bring your left leg in, holding on behind your thigh. Sit your chest up nice and tall, then stretch up your left leg, bend the knee. Stretch it up. Try not to push your thigh down, but lift your toe up. Stay up there. You can flex and point, flex and point, flex and point. Walk your hands up to your calf, ankle, wherever that is for you. Find your back nice and tall. Leave your leg there as you bend your elbows, taking your chest, your head towards your leg. We're keeping your C curve here, but lean backwards, taking the leg with you. Hold it there, and then push the leg forward, and that rocks you back up on top of your pelvis. Hold it here. Lean back again, pulling the stomach. You can even press through the right heel on the mat, and then scoop the stomach as you rock up and over the pelvis, bringing you back up. One more time here, rocking back. If we were on the carriage, we'd stop here and start walking down our legs, but we're not. We're going to come up on top of the pelvis, stay on top of it as you stretch the right leg out long across the mat. You can even flex that heel if that helps you. Pull the stomach and walk your hands down your leg. Only go as far down as you know you can scoop and control it back up. Climbing your hands back up your leg. Bending the elbows, deepening the stretch. Make sure you're square. Pull the stomach, your ribs, your hips, your shoulders square. Go back a little further if you can. Now deepen the stomach as you come up. Elbows are wide, lifting your chest. Feeling the stretch in the back. One more time. Scoop the stomach in all that space you're creating. I'm going all the way down. This time you don't have to. And then lift your head. Scoop and come right back up. Hands are behind the ankles, bending the elbows for the stretch. And then lift your chest up through the arms so much that they stretch. Lifting your head up, and then bend your knee and rest. Nice job, you guys. Okay, so after short box, we go into your long stretch series. So plank position. Hands underneath your shoulders. Stretch your legs long behind you. We'll try not to be here very long. Squeeze your heels. I want you now to push your heels back, rocking your body back behind your wrists. Then pull your head, your chest forward, your heels forward over the toes. Reach your heels back like you were pushing the carriage out. And then exhale, pull the stomach, chest through the arms like you're closing the carriage. One more time, you can push through the arms. And exhale, pull the shoulders down your back. Now stay here. I want your knees to go to the mat, but your chest to lift up a little bit. Keep lifting your chest up, 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 up. And then you're going to lift your thighs up again. Push your heels back. Squeeze your tush, hug the back of your legs, and you're in your plank position again. But now lift your head, lift your chest through the arms as your knees lightly touch down on the mat. Your stomach is still lifting through the chest, like down stretch. But now push through those heels, squeeze the back of your thighs and tush, and then you find yourself in your plank position again. Lift your chest as you bend your knees, chest going up, up, up through the arms, opening the front of the body, And then plank position, stay there. Round your head and lift your hips up. Oh, good. So just do whatever feels good to you here, taking some pressure off your wrists. We're not going to do up stretch. We're going to go right into your elephant. I want you to open your feet parallel hip width apart, and then lift your stomach and your ribs up. From here, we're going to walk your feet to your hands. Lift your stomach and try to keep your legs straight. Pull with your stomach to walk your feet to your hands, rounding your back. Now walk your feet back. Keep your feet flexing, keep your legs straight. You want to lift the leg from lifting the stomach, and then stay there, parallel hip width apart. Walk your hands to your feet, lifting your stomach, lifting your ribs. And again, you want to try to keep those arms straight. And now from here, we're doing it together. You're going to walk your hands forward, walk your feet forward. Walk your hands forward, walk your feet forward like an elephant walking on the ground. Scoop the legs under. Let's try to get 4 in here. Oh, I kind of bent my elbows. Now reverse it. Walk it back. Walk your hands. Walk it back. Walk your hands. Walk your feet. Walk your hands. One more. Walk your feet. Walk your hands. And that is your elephant. Rest for a moment. You can take your knees down to the mat. Whew. All right, y'all doing okay? Okay, so after elephant, we step off to the side and we set up for stomach massage. And what that looks like here, we're going to do it in 2 different ways. Heels are together, toes a little bit apart. Right now, I'm sitting with my head on top of my hips. My knees are open in line with the shoulders. I'm going to take my fingers in front of my pelvis so that my elbows can stay bent out to the side. I'm looking down at my tummy. Stretch your legs out across the mat, squeezing your tush, and then bend your knees up to your shoulders, dragging your feet back in. Press out as if you were pushing the carriage away, and scoop the stomach as if you were pulling the carriage, the springs in. Press out, you can point your feet. Now flex your feet as if your heels are under the bar. Point the toes as if you lifted the heels above the bar. Bend the knees to come in, closing the springs. Press out, flex, point and come in. And press out, flex, point and come in. I'm still looking down, keep going at my tail. My back is still rounded, but I'm still pushing down through my fingertips to try to keep lifting up in my chest so that the shoulders are nowhere near my ears, and come in and hold. Now, what does that look like in the other version? Leave your hands where they are, and I want you to lean back so that your arms straighten. Now, pick your legs up as if your toes were on the foot bar. Go ahead and press out there. Flex your heels. Point your toes and come in. Press out, flex, point and come in. Just 3 more. Point, flex, point and come in. 2 more out. Flex, point and come in. 1 more, and this is really hard. And point and come in. Place your feet down, sit up. Just so you have that variety, you don't have to do it every time. Okay, reach your arms back behind you, opening your chest. I'm going spider fingers or fists, whichever feels best to you, but same legs. Reach your legs out across the mat. Now flex your heels forward, point the toes, scoop and bring it in. Press it out, flex, point and come in. Because remember here, keep going, you're still trying to lift your chest. You're trying to take that rounded spine where you stretched it a moment ago, and now sit it up tall. Point, flex, point and come in. 1 more like this, stretch, flex, point and come in. If you want, you can walk your hands back further and pick those feet up, and it's harder. Out, flex, point and come in. You could do it here. Flex, I'm just doing 1 more here. Out, flex, point and come in and rest. Sitting up. Okay. Reach your arms forward. This is the reach up. Stretch your legs out. There's no flex point here. Scoop the stomach and drag your knees up under your shoulders. Inhale as you stretch out. Think about your hips pulling back a little further. And then exhale. Make sure your chest is in front of your pelvis. Press out, that you're not hanging out back here behind the pelvis, but that the reach is pulling you in front of the pelvis. Bend the knees back in. One more time here. Reach it out because we're about to add on to this. And bend the knees back in. As you straighten your arms, twist your chest, opening your chest. I'm twisting to the right. Make sure that my right arm is not behind my body somewhere, but in line with my collarbone. And then reach forward and bend the knees and come back in. Press out. As you twist, still keep your heart over your hips, your head over your hips, and reach forward and bend the knees and come back in. Inhale as you twist. This doesn't happen often. When we inhale as you twist, exhale to scoop the stomach to draw the legs back to center. Inhale as you rotate, lifting with your inhale, and exhale, reach forward, both knees come in. One more time, so reach your left rib forward as much as you're pulling your right rib backwards. And reach forward, back in, last time. Reaching the right rib forward as you twist the left rib backwards, and reach forward and rest. And if you're anything like me, those hips are nice and grippy right now, so let's do what we can to stretch them out. Flip over. So we get to stretch your hips out, arms pressing down. Lift your hips up and open the front of your hips. And then roll down your upper back, roll down your middle back, roll down your lower back, and your hips touch down on the mat. 2 more like that. Roll up, lifting your hips up. Think about your knees reaching over your toes, as if you're trying to pull your seat to your heels, as if you're trying to close the springs. And then roll down, as if you're trying to roll your chest over the carriage, rolling the hips down into the well onto the springs. One more time. So it's not the full out and in and roll and all that stuff, but you still get the benefit of the up and down, the hips opening, the hamstrings working, and the articulation as you roll down, lengthening the spine, and all the way down into your mat. Bring your knees into your chest. And oftentimes here, we'll go into your corkscrew and tick-tock. So on the mat, you don't have anything back here to grab onto, but you can either keep your arms down by your side for this, or you can take your hands back, so your palms are pressing down into the mat. I have a mat that I can grab. Maybe you have a coffee table or a chair that you can grab. You could do that. Up to you. Stretch your legs out to the ceiling. Small corkscrew here to the right, forward around left, and center and left, forward around right, and center. And if you wanted to, you could take this to roll up and down, adding that jackknife part to it. I'm not going to right now, but that would be your choice. One more here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you shouldn't be doing it. But if you do, you're welcome to it. Rest for a moment, bend the knees. So again, you don't have those handles back here to hold on to. You might want your arms to go out to the side. That might give you a little more leverage here for tick-tock. I'm still going to put my hands back here. Up to you. Stretch your legs up to the sky. Take your legs over to the right, letting your left hip lift up over the right hip, and turn your head to the left. So you're spiraling the spine here, and then pull your left hip back down, coming back to center, your head back to center. Take your legs over to the left hip. Really let that right hip go up. Let your right heel go up over the left, turning your head to the right. Now pull the right hip back down as you bring your legs back up. Up and over. So your legs are going to the right, your head is looking to the left in opposition. And then pull your hips back down as your head comes to center. Take your legs over to the left as you turn your head to the right. And come back to center. One more time. Again, I'm going to inhale as I twist, really because I want the inhale to support this really hard, challenging position. And then come back to center, and exhale to come to center. And up and over. The inhale is going to fill you up, supporting your body as you tip over in this really hard position. The exhale is going to scoop, and the scoop is going to draw the hip down and bring you back to center. And rest. Bring your knees into your chest for a little hug. And a lot of times here we go right into your frog and leg circles. So again, you can either have your arms down long by your side. You can put your hands behind your head and lift your head and chest up if that feels better to you. And we don't have the straps, so perhaps your legs are going to be higher than usual. But press out your legs, anchor the low back, bend the knees and come back in. Very similar, press out again to your footwork that we started with earlier, and bend the knees and come back in. One more time, press it out, stay out here. Open your legs hip width apart. Lower the legs down, keep your back on the mat. Squeeze the heels. Now scoop the stomach and lift. If you need to bring your legs higher, bring them higher. Open, reach forward and squeeze, scoop the stomach to lift the legs. Open, reach forward and squeeze, scoop to lift the inner thighs. We reverse it. Legs forward down that midline, open hip width, scoop the stomach, lift the inner thighs and squeeze your inner thighs. Reach your legs forward and open, scoop and lift and squeeze. One more time, forward and open, scoop and lift and squeeze. Bend the knees to come in. Give yourself a hug. And then we step off, roll up, and set up for knee stretches, which means we're going on to all fours at the start. Knee stretches here, we're really just going to look at knee stretches round. So again, you want to push down through the arms. I want your legs to reach behind you in your plank position. Then take your right leg only and pull it in towards your chest, rounding your low back a little, and then reach it back. Switch your legs. Pull your left leg in and round the low back, and reach it back out. Right leg, scoop the stomach, and reach it out. Left leg, scoop, and reach. And as your right leg's coming in, you are switching your legs. Your back leg is pressing out. So your right knee forward, left heel back, and switch, left knee forward, right heel back, and switch one more time each side. Round that low back, lengthen it, and round it, and lengthen it, and lower your knees down. Sit back onto your heels, away from your wrists for a moment. And roll up, sitting up tall. And because we really just did shoulder bridge here for semicircle, we're gonna skip over pelvic lift and stand up. So now we're into your running exercise. I want you to start heels together, toes a little bit apart. Push your feet down into the mat, pull the stomach up. I'm reaching the arms down and pressing back a little bit as if I were laying flat on the mat. Lift your stomach up, rise up on your toes as if you push the carriage out. Open the heels to parallel. Now bend your right knee towards me and lower your left heel. And then stand up tall, both legs. Bend your left knee to me, right heel down, and stand up. Keep going. Right knee forward and up, and left knee forward and up. And right knee and lift, and left knee and lift. One more like this, really feeling the stomach going up as your heel is going down, because now we're picking up the tempo. And right, up and left, up and right. Try not to drop your heel, but go up as the heel lowers down. And last one, lift, wrap your heels, lower, down, and rest. So let's look at your side splits here. Go ahead and reach your arms out to the side. I want you to heel toe. Let me do the heel toe your right foot out. And you're going parallel. So both toes are facing me. And you're pushing out through the legs. Try to pull in with the inner thighs, out all at the same time. However, let's just do the fancies here. We're gonna round forward, picking up, reaching your hands to the floor, and then it's like you're gonna scoop up some laundry, and then roll up, still holding the laundry out in front of you, your hands in front of your heart. Now you're gonna drop the laundry. Open the arms, and then lift your chest up as you lean your chest away from your hands, and then come back up, reach your arms out again. Heel toe your right leg in, and then we're heel toeing your left leg out. And you're still pointing the toes to me. You're still pressing out through the outside thighs, but don't roll out on the baby toes by pulling the inner thighs together so you're flat there. We're doing that again. Round forward, reaching down. This time we're gonna say it's flowers. Scoop up a bouquet of flowers as you roll up. Those flowers are in front of you. And then you're gonna give those flowers to someone and lean your chest away, looking towards the beautiful sky, and then come back up and reach the arms out. Heel toe in. Let's do it one more time. Each leg, your right leg heel toes out,
You're still pointed toes forward. It's like you're a 5-point star. Keep your legs still, but turn your chest to the right. Take your left pinky finger to your right pinky toe, sawing that baby toe off, and then roll all the way up and come back to center. And turn to the left. Reach your right pinky finger to your left pinky toe, but that left arm is reaching up to the sky. And then roll it up and center. Heel toe your right leg in. Heel toe your left leg out. We get to do all that on the left side, so we twist to the left first and reach over. Be careful that your hip didn't go with you, that right hip is still back, and roll up so your hips are square. And twist to the right, and reach over. Keep your left hip from twisting, and roll it up because you want to twist at the waist. And center, heel toe the leg in, and lower the arms down. So that's like your side splits. Let's look at front splits. Okay, so your hands are going down. You're going to take one foot back and the other leg forward, so we're in a runner's lunge. There we go. So we're in that runner's lunge, and ideally you want your knee, your hip, your knee, your heel in a straight line. So be careful that your hips aren't popping up, that your hips are staying down. Be careful that this back knee isn't dropping down, but you're engaging that back hamstring and you're opening the front of your left hip. And that's just why we're doing this exercise. So now lean your left heel back, you rock back a little bit, and then bend your right knee forward, you rock forward a little bit. It does not have to be a big movement. Your heel reaches back, you shift back a little, not hips popping up, keep your hips low. And then rock your heel forward, keep your hips low, you're opening the front of the hip. My knee is staying straight the whole time on the back. Reach your heel back, the ankle is shifting, not the knee. And then your right knee moves forward, but your left knee is still straight, because then you're gonna lower that knee towards the mat, opening the front of that hip, and then push through the heel and squeeze the back of your thigh. Again, as you lower that knee down, you're not dropping it, and then reach the heel back and lift the hamstring back up. One more time. Lower the knee down to stretch open in the front of the hip and the thigh. And then reach it back up, because now you're going to keep that front knee bent. I want you to come up to an upright position. You can rotate that back leg so the heel touches down. I'm going to close it up a little bit. Reach the arms forward or lift them up and behind your head. Up to you. My front knee is bent, my back leg is straight, but I want your head to pull up to stretch through that front leg, so now both legs are straight. But now bend your front leg, opening the front of your right hip more. And then lift your stomach up, lift the inner thighs up, and then bend the front leg even more. One more time, scoop up the stomach, rise up, reach your arms up, and round over, taking your hands to the floor. Then bring your left leg forward. We're switching legs. Right leg back. So like in front splits 1, we're in that low runner's lunge, but I'm going to pop my heel up in the back rather than keeping it anchored, because I need that ankle to move. Already I'm getting stretched across my right hip. Reach the heel back, and then reach the heel forward. And reach the right heel back, and rock the right heel forward. One more time. My right leg is staying straight the whole time, and rock it forward, and then come back to center. Stay right there. Now lower your right knee down, but think about your chest lifting up. And then reach your right heel back, engage that back right hamstring and squeeze your tush. You're back in your plank position there. Bend the right knee down, but lift your stomach up, so you're opening the front of that right hip. And then reach through the heel, hug your seat, and the thigh comes back up. One more time. This one is really like front splits 3. However, it fits better in the patterning on the mat. Now go ahead and turn out that back leg, put the heel down. You can kind of walk it towards you a little. I'm going to roll up and keep this front knee bent. I'm taking my hands behind my head. You can go wherever you feel good for your balance. Lift your stomach up, lifting your head up, and let that stretch your left leg up. And then bend the left leg forward, but I want that to stretch the front of your right hip. Scoop up the stomach to lift up your inner thighs. Those inner thighs are drawing up and together. Bend the left knee forward. We just have one last one, you guys. Scoop the stomach to come up. Reach up and round down. And then walk the back leg forward. Soft knees. Roll up to standing. Oh, goodness.